go on.
We are right now at the start of the Bloomfield Track.
And this means our little bikes are fighting with gradients up to 33%.
Come on, old girl, come on.
But truth is, it's not the climb that worries us most. It's the way back down.
Now I'm really very hard on the brakes.
I couldn't stop here.
That makes me a bit nervous.
And on top of that, a serious problem turns up. One that might be a showstopper.
Apparently the tank has a crack somewhere underneath.
But we keep pushing. From the coast into the Tablelands, and what we get in return, well, it's out of this world. So sit tight, folks, because today's ride is a roller coaster. After a short stop in Cooktown to stock up on food and fuel, we are back on the road heading south towards Cape Tribulation. But it's not long until we, or rather I, run into some serious trouble.
Du Penner!
𝗬𝗫𝘂𝗧𝘂𝗧𝗂𝗯𝗲.
But trust me guys, it's not what it looks like, I just wanted to help. Well, anyway, never mind, today we've got bigger fish to fry. And soon enough we arrive at what we came here for.
Good morning guys, and welcome to a new episode of this crazy adventure. We are right now at the start of the Bloomfield Track, which is a gravel track along the coast leading down south, and I just dropped the tire pressure for it. Yesterday we had a very slow morning at the Lions Den Hotel. We've been pretty exhausted, so we took it slow. We went to Cooktown, had lunch at the beachfront, which was amazing, very beautiful there. And after that we went straight towards the Bloomfield Track. We camped yesterday just before 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗬𝗂𝘁𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗑. I hopefully pronounce it the right way. We had the spot totally to ourselves, which was amazing again. And today morning I changed our sprockets to smaller ones because there are a couple of interesting obstacles coming up at the Bloomfield Track.
Yeah, what kind of obstacles is Helmut talking about? The Bloomfield Track was built in the 1980s and he connects Cape Tribulation with Cooktown, and it leads to absolute ancient, wild, untouched rainforest. And to keep the impact on the nature as little as possible, they build it as straight as possible. So it runs over two quite steep mountain ranges, and this leads into very steep gradients up to 33%. Just to give you an idea, the world's steepest road is Baldwin Street in New Zealand, which we, by the way, tackled on our motorcycle world trip, and it's 35%. And here we have 33%, so it's really, really steep. So we will see how the little ones deal with this steepness. But yeah, there is another creek crossings, I think 3 or so. But most important, Bloomfield Track must be a very, very scenic road. So we're really looking forward to it. Let's go. So far the road is really beautiful. Small road, winding along the river. Beautiful scenery.
Absolutely. But no crocs so far. And
Yeah.
I checked every possible spot here, so I think it's more of a tourist gag. They don't have crocodiles here.
Probably there are, I don't know, hundreds here. They just hide and you're getting disappointed.
We need a piece of meat.
Not
Would
me.
you?
Not me.
Well, it would be nice if you just attract them and then I can take a photo. Oh, that's a first gear section already.
Yeah, but this is just a little taste for what's coming next. We have to cross two ranges, the 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗯𝗲 and the Donovan range, and both are no walk in the park, at least for a fully loaded 50-year-old 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗍 moped. In the Alps, some of the steepest roads have a gradient of up to 22%, and here we start with 33 straight away. So our little bikes definitely have their work cut out.
Long, steep ascent for the next 2 kilometers. Engage 4-wheel drive low range.
Okay. There is no low range. We only have 3 gears anyway.
So we give our best.
I think I switched to
first gear straight away.
Oh, it's bumpy here.
Well, apparently, like you can see here, they paved the steepest bits a few years back to make it easier to pass.
But it's steep. Uh-oh.
Is there a car coming?
No. Go on, go on, go on, go on. I have to try it again. Holy moly.
Well, we have to say, 𝗬𝗂𝘁𝗁𝗂 carries more luggage and he's heavier.
Yeah.
So probably altogether it's 30 kilo more than I have. For me so far it was no problem, but it was steep. And you have to lean forward, otherwise the front wheel lifts because there's no much weight on it. So I stop here and wait for 𝗬𝗁𝘁𝗁𝗂. Hopefully he can make it.
So I try it again here. Get a bit of a runway. And then we hopefully make it up there. Oh, now it looks better. But you really have to commit, otherwise we wouldn't make it. Holy moly.
He's coming, I can hear him.
Yoo! I made it!
Yeah!
Well, you shouldn't praise the day before the evening, right? The 𝗂𝗂𝘂𝗂𝗃 range doesn't give up that easily, and this mud hole just marks the beginning.
We take the edge. Oh, it's not deep. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I'm coming.
Yeah, the problem is with cars, they accelerate up here and that leads to very heavy corrugations. And that again leads to loss of traction because it's very bumpy. Oh shit! Oh, my bike jumped out of gear. So
Oh no.
keep going. I have to try it again.
Oh. Hopefully there's no car coming. Oh.
I'll probably have to go down until the water hole.
Oh. But right before the corner you really have to hit the throttle hard. It gets really steep for the little bike. Whew.
So I'm gonna start from here again and try if we can make it now. Come on, 𝗬𝗁𝘂𝗂𝗧𝘂𝗃𝗃, come on. You can do this. Come on, 𝗬𝗁𝘂𝗁𝗲, come on. Wow, the bumps are really a problem. Oh wow, that's exciting. Oh, bike jumped out of gear again. Come on, Josh, come on, you can make it. Oh yeah, woo! Oh, well done, mate.
Well, what goes up needs to come down again. And that's often even more exciting than the climb itself, because
With these steep gradients, the bike also struggles with brakes. We have drum brakes, very small ones, as they had back in the, well, 60s,
70s.
70s. And with all our gear on, it's not easy to stop, and the two-stroke engine has hardly any engine brake. So it will be interesting going down again. Are you excited?
Yes, I am. I'm actually sweating a little bit. Even if I made it uphill, I'm not sure if I could stop on a hill steep like this.
Oh, you get down anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. You can't see the road because it's so steep. Crazy.
That makes me a bit nervous.
Pretty cool, very exciting. But you have to take it slow, as I said, with the brakes. I'm full on the brakes, let's say this way. And I couldn't stop here.
Luckily, there's only very few cars coming, so you can choose whatever line is best normally.
But this descent doesn't last long, which makes this road feel like a roller coaster. Down one moment and back up the next. Really good fun. The important part, always keep momentum.
This even is third gear. Woo! We just passed the Daintree Rainforest National Park sign, so we are now in the national park. And as I said before, this road leads through a really ancient rainforest. The Daintree Rainforest is unbelievable 180 million years old. So this is 10 million years older than the famous Amazon rainforest in South America.
And this rainforest is one of the oldest continuously surviving rainforests on the planet. It has seen dinosaurs, several ice ages, and the first humans come and go. So in a way, we are riding right through history. But that's not all. It's also home to an incredible variety of plants and animal species, many of them found nowhere else on Earth. So truly one of those places worth protecting. And luckily, since the late 80s, this area has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which means it has a good chance of surviving for many generations to come. But just as we think the 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗂 range is done with us, well, she's not.
Now it gets really steep again.
I couldn't stop here. Could you?
Maybe very slow, but not sure. But like I said before, they did pave some or concrete some parts, the very steep ones.
But it's really long and steep.
Yes.
Wow.
Like now, I'm very hard on the brakes.
Me too. Pretty much everything.
I really hope that they last.
You're in first gear?
Yes. Now I'm in first gear. You can hear the engine yell.
You have to give a little bit of throttle in between.
Okay, I think that was it. Woo! It was even downhill. Woo! Pretty steep. Jeez.
Well, I think, 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗧𝗂𝗂𝗧, we made it.
Woo! But I'm not sure if we maybe go uphill now again.
We will
Could
see.
be.
But the Bloomfield Track isn't just rainforest ranges and sweat. This area also offers some truly pristine beaches. And trust me, you'll usually have them all to yourself. Well, except for the crocodiles. And after a short break, the next challenge is already waiting for us. The Donovan Range.
So this should be an easy one. Let's go. I go for second because it will be easy.
Not sure about that one. I prefer slow and steady.
I think I need the first one. Already.
I think I'm gonna overtake. Woo! Here you really see our weight difference. The 30 kilo makes such a difference. Not that Helmut is 30 kilo heavier than me.
But it's steep again.
Yes, but it's quite easy. Slow and steady, no problem. The other one was way steeper.
The huge difference is the concrete underneath.
Yeah.
Because as I said, the bumps made it pretty difficult.
I think I see the top already.
Just the last meters to the final. He's overtaking. He's wrong gear. That was.
Not time for second gear yet.
I was actually in third.
Oh.
Big mistake, but he's catching up the last meter. Will he make it? Will he make it?
I lean forward. I give everything. Doing incredible. I can't see the speedo.
Yeah, good fun up here. We made it! Woo!
Made it. Woohoo!
But it was a lot easier than the other one, to be
Yes.
honest.
Definitely. Now we go down again, probably.
Yeah, I enjoyed the view.
Wow. Even if it's pretty cloudy today, it is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we have rain in the afternoon. So I'm actually happy when we do this section before the rain starts. Because I think when it gets wet, it can be very different to now, to the dry.
Yeah, especially when it comes to our brakes. That would definitely leave a mark, just not on the road. And the next descent is already coming up. Luckily it's only
20%, it says.
Which honestly is quite steep already. I think I go in first gear. Just to make sure that...
It's not as steep as the Kaui range.
No.
You can feel it.
I mean, there is 13% difference,
Yeah.
so 13% is a lot.
Because on the Kaui range you can feel it, that it drags you down, sort of.
Yeah, the bike is really pushing very hard downwards.
Yeah. Now I think we made it.
Woo!
Now we have a creek crossing. And then this adventure is done and dusted.
Yep, that's right, but the Imogen Creek crossing isn't just the end of the Bloomfield Track. It's also the gatekeeper for the rather touristy southern part of Cape Tribulation. The reason is simple: regular rental cars are not allowed to cross it.
Beautiful.
I think you can go first, but it really doesn't look too bad.
Crystal clear, look at it. Should we give it a go?
Yeah, I think so. Right side.
I would say, yeah.
Let you go first and watch if you ground the bike. And
Yeah.
if not, I try it myself.
Okay.
Oh,
Bit bumpy, but other than that, not super deep. Good.
okay then. Let's give it a try. It is a bit bumpy. I think I will weten my feet again. Yes. But slow and steady. Woo! Yay! Made it! Slow and steady with wet feet, but successful.
This is it, guys.
We just crossed the last little creek. This was the last obstacle on the Bloomfield Track for us.
We really enjoyed it. It was like a roller coaster.
Went down all the
and
time.
sometimes we had to give it a second go because we couldn't make it with our little 50cc.
Some of us.
Or maybe she said I'm too fat.
No, I didn't. It's the more luggage you carry.
But we are right at the topic because I'm hungry now and we need to find a place.
For lunch, we are heading further south now. Maybe find a nice spot along the coast and have lunch there.
Yes.
And just before we hit the sealed road, we come across another pretty spectacular sight.
We just passed this giant ancient fig tree and it's just massive.
It's massive, yeah.
Incredible. I think it's a couple of hundred, maybe even, I don't know, thousands of years old.
Amazing. Let's keep going.
Well, to be more precise, some of those trees can live up to 1,000 years. And that's just something that blows my mind all the way towards the mighty Daintree River.
The road ends.
Again.
Maybe if I'm hard on the throttle?
Yeah.
You think
can...
I make it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I would give it a go.
Yeah?
Yeah, what possibly can go wrong?
Everything. I think everything. So this is the Cape Tribulation ferry crossing the mighty Daintree River.
And just as we are waiting for the ferry to arrive, Bea tells me about some sore spots on her bum. And of course, I immediately have a hunch about what might be causing it.
It is the underpaint, because you wore it now for 4 weeks, you know, it's dusty and it's brown in parts and
What?
it has some chocolate sides, you know, and that
No,
is not good for the skin. I told you.
I have a sore bum, probably because of all the dust in my jeans.
Yeah, right. Whatever. And with the Daintree river crossing behind us, we are really back in Civilisation. And it's quite overwhelming after those empty, endless roads of the Cape York Peninsula.
We just passed the busy town of Cairns. Actually, it does feel a bit weird after over 2 weeks in the very remote Cape York Peninsula to be back in Civilisation. A lot of cars, a lot of traffic. So actually we are very lucky to escape the trouble again, because now we are heading towards the Atherton Tablelands. We are just following this very windy mountain road up on the high plateau. The Atherton Tablelands are part of the Great Dividing Range.
Yeah, and this range is the third longest in the world, stretching over 3,500 kilometers from northern Queensland down into Victoria. It's also the reason for Australia's striking climate contrast. Lush and green to the east, dry and dusty to the west. The Great Dividing Range shapes it all. And the Atherton Tablelands are a perfect example. Incredibly fertile and perfect for all sorts of agriculture like sugar canes, citrus fruits and nuts. The main industry this region is built on. But there's a lot more to discover because
The Atherton Tablelands have a couple of old mining towns. They were mining gold and tin back in the days. Then of course they have like really ancient old trees. You can spot platypus up here, and they have a lot of very, very beautiful waterfalls. So let's get up there and see what it's all about.
We wander, we roam, we take the road, we make our home. Together, we're never alone. We take the road, we make our home.
We're just riding around in 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀, one of the historic towns here, and it's really beautiful. A lot of old buildings, beautiful trees. The weather is really nice up here, a lot cooler than down in Cairns.
𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀 is one of the most famous historic villages in the Tablelands, founded in the early 1900s when the railway first reached the area. And even today it still feels like stepping back in time with its relaxed atmosphere, the well-preserved timber buildings, platypus hiding in the surrounding creeks, and not to forget the nearby ancient curtain fig tree. But the Tablelands have even more to offer. A few k's south you'll find some of the prettiest waterfalls in the country, and under one of them we are going for a swim.
The last hour or so the weather changed completely. This morning it was really hot and humid, and now we have really low clouds. It rained a little bit and it's really cold. I even had to close all the mesh openings of my jacket already. So actually not the weather I was expecting to have a swim. Or what do you think?
Yeah, it's a bit chilly, so we will see what's going on there.
Well guys, these are the famous 𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀 Falls, and they are very well known because of its curtain-like cascade of water that plunges roughly 18 meters down, and it's surrounded by lush green tropical rainforest.
Back in the 90s, this place got even more popular as a TV commercial for 𝗬𝗵𝗂𝗀𝗀 was filmed right here at the waterfall. Nowadays it's a very popular place for tourists and locals alike to have a swim in this really beautiful natural pool, and this is what we're gonna do now as well.
So let's jump in there.
𝗬𝗂𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀 Falls is one of those places where beauty meets peace. A little oasis surrounded by rainforest, birds and the relaxing sound of falling water. It's simple, elegant and incredibly photogenic. A place that draws you in and really slows you down. But it's also quite popular, so timing is everything. Shoulder season, early morning or late in the day, that's when the magic is happening. And speaking of late in the day, after a refreshing swim, it's time for us to hit the road again because we want to cook with you guys. But on our way back to the coast, we run into a serious problem. One that might change everything.
Well, this is traveling as well. We just went to the gas station and refueled both bikes, and apparently the tank has a crack somewhere underneath. So we have to drain the fuel now and check if we need to solve the problem right now or we can kind of delay it maybe to Townsville. That's one of the next destinations. Not happy about it, but well, part of the adventure.
The first real problem, the tank is full and the gas station doesn't have a single jerry can. So we have to improvise by collecting empty bottles from rubbish bins all over town.
We are drained all the fuel right now. I took the tank off and I've just seen that the crack is pretty much at the bottom of the tank, so we can't ride like it is anymore. We have to fix it now. Luckily, we are in this tiny little village. It has a gas station and we have shade and we have some water to wash our hands, so that's pretty good already. And I carry 𝗬𝗂𝗧𝘂𝗧𝗂𝗯𝗲 epoxy, and this stuff already saved our lives quite many times on our travel around the world.
The 𝗬𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗯𝗲 epoxy is actually pretty straightforward to use. Just net the two components together properly, clean the surface as best as you can, and then work it on the crack.
The moment of truth, 20 minutes are over. The stuff is hard, so I'm confident that it will seal, but petrol is leaking through the tiniest holes, so we slowly move it over. And then it looks pretty good. So far, absolutely dry.
And once again, the 𝗬𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧𝗂𝗧 epoxy saves the day, so we can definitely recommend this stuff. Time to fill up with our 15 bottles of fuel and hit the road again. We are dangerously close to beer o'clock, so it's time to get a campfire going, crack a coldie and cook up some dinner.
We just arrived at this beautiful spot in a national park. The tent is already pitched up, the fire is going, and now we are ready to start cooking.
Today noon, we went to the supermarket and bought fresh ingredients for our Asian night. So we have really nice prawns, we have fresh veggies, we have pre-cooked stir-fry noodles. I decided to buy some baby pak choy, broccolini, carrots and snow peas, but of course you can buy whatever veggies you like. And also the prawns, if you don't like seafood, just buy some chicken or tofu for vegetarian option, all works. So the cool thing about this dish is it's super easy, super fast, and you can make it in just one pot on your camping stove. The original plan was to fry the prawns in the pot, and when they're fried, just remove them and place them in a bowl. Then fry the veggies, add the noodles, add the sauce. We have like yellow Thai curry, coconut sauce to it, so really yummy. But as we have a campfire tonight, I decided Helmut needs a task too. So he will grill the prawns over the campfire today.
Well, I thought the cool thing with this meal is that I just prepare the campfire and drink beer. But of course, I like to grill, so I happily join you.
Okay, so let's get into it because I'm really hungry already.
Cooking outdoor is something we both really enjoy. But as usual, the gear makes all the difference. Good knives, solid pots, reliable stove. That's the foundation for a good meal and a good time. But in the end, there's one thing you can't really go wrong with. A proper campfire.
So the veggies are almost ready. I only fry them for 2 or 3 minutes, so they are really fresh and crunchy still. I just added the pre-cooked noodles. They are really great in 2 ways. One, they are ready in 2 to 3 minutes, which is really quick. And second, you only need a little bit of water because you don't cook them for 10 or 15 minutes. So this is the perfect dish if you camp somewhere in the bush and there's not a lot of portable water available.
But as usual, the grill master has the toughest job. Carefully balancing a beer in one hand while professionally monitoring the extremely complex transformation of meat into something that is, well, not burnt.
Dinner is ready, guys, and as I promised, it really took less than 15 minutes and I swear it looks super, super delicious.
Absolutely.
I just topped the stir fry with some fresh chili, as Helmut and I really like it spicy. And now I will finish with some fresh lemon juice, as it really gives the dish a very fresh, fruity finish. And now we're gonna enjoy our dinner, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Well guys, but as Arnie used to say in Terminator, we'll be back. And then the Glasshouse Mountains will have to reveal their secrets.